Finally, he told him how a girl died during the experiment. Oh, yeah, she told you all that, did she? Snake looked down, his face was tight. A slight tremor shook his body, and he tried to hide it. He was putting on a good front, but even Junpei could tell that he was holding back something deep and powerful. He made it as if to brush something from his face, and looked up at Junpei. At any rate, I know how much you've learned. And all that remains for us to determine is who did this and why, right? Yes. Can you tell me what happened? Snake nodded slowly. The people who organized the initial experiment were from a company called Cradle Pharmaceutical. There were 4 of them running the show. Ace was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical. Nijisaki was the right-hand man, and did the lion's share of the planning. Kubota led the company's research and development vision. Musashido was their majority stockholder. It was these 4 people who planned the initial experiment. Let me simplify for you. Hongao designed it, and Nijisaki put it together. Kubota developed the technology required, and Musashido provided the cash. So it's Hongao, Nijisaki, Kubota, Musashido. Man, I wish they'd stop fucking saying these names. I've been talking way too long, man. Don't be throwing them words at me. Junpei couldn't shake the sense that he had heard those 4 names somewhere before. Of course, more than 4 people were required to conduct an experiment of this scale. To that end, they organized a top-secret team to assist with their research. All in all, they gathered 10 people or so. Those 10 completed their team, and they were able to begin the project. They named it the Nonary Project. The purpose of the experiment was to research the prospect of controlling the human mind through sheer will. The vessel, I suppose you could say, for the control was the morphogenetic field. Why did the glycerin suddenly begin to crystallize? Why did the crystal structure of EDT undergo a sudden change? Why did the rats improve their puzzle solving skills of each generation? Experiments of humans produced the same results. The more people who knew the answer to a question, the more people there were who could answer correctly without having seen the problem before. Why? How? The answer is that the shape of the answer has been stored in a field invisible to the naked eye. And through that field, the resonant event transmits information related to that answer. That's essentially the idea behind morphogenetic fields. But that's just a theory. Can't bring yourself to believe it? Not really. Let's say someone killed another person because the devil told him to do it. Whether the devil exists or not has no relevance to the murderer. They believe the devil exists, whether or not he believes it's immaterial. So, what matters here is that Hongao believed in the morphogenetic field. Snake nodded. But I still don't get it. You said they wanted to figure out how to control people? Is that what you're trying to say? Yes. So, how are they going to do that with a morphogenetic field? Now, I'll keep it simple. Let's suppose 10,000 people have solved a certain problem. The chance of you knowing that answer, even if no one has told you, will go up. Let's have another example, shall we? Say 1 million people here. 1 million... I can't fucking speak anymore. I'm losing it, man. Say 1 million people were to do a handstand right now. Tomorrow, the chances of you doing a handstand would be higher. Even if you had heard nothing of the hypothetical mass handstanding. Mankind's thought processes and actions are all part of a resonant event. All of the resonant events encoded in the fields are projected onto you. Of course, this assumes you believe in the theory. Do you follow so far? Yeah. But let's say hypothetically that there was a person who had the same effect as those millions of people. What would happen? If that one person were to do a handstand, other people would find themselves wanting to do handstands as well. Can you imagine what a person with powers like that would be able to do? Ah, so the sheer will part. Being able to control people by consciously doing actions to coax people into doing it themselves. Come on, there's no way. I'm not done. Imagine another scenario. Imagine another person. This is an ordinary person. Let's say he does a handstand. What if there was someone who could grab that resonant event he created by doing that and use it to make other people do handstands? What would happen then? A person who has the power to write to the field and someone who can read from the same, you can think of them as the writer and reader, or the transmitter and the receiver. What would the world be like if there were people with abilities like these? Junpei thought about it for a moment. So, the transmitter's resonant event can be transmitted through the field and sent to the receiver. And then the transmitter can control the receiver however they wish. That's what you're saying, right? Yes, well, close enough at least. Come on, that's just crazy. But if you want to prove that, then you'll have to test it first. At least, that was how they thought. That was why they decided to do their experiment. That was how the Nonary project began. Snake suddenly looked very serious. Junpei, have you ever heard of the Gansfeld experiment? No, I haven't. Junpei shook his head. You place a pair of subjects in separate rooms. Then you show one a picture and ask the other what they see. In theory, it's supposed to test for the existence of telepathy. Oh. So why'd you bring up the Gansfeld experiment? It was used to screen subjects for the Nonary project. The hospital in a remote town was affiliated with Cradle Pharmaceutical. Hongao used it to conduct experiments on visiting children in secret. Some of them he found had potential. He began to gather children that showed promise, children that seemed as though they might be able to access the field. Of course, none of them volunteered. They were kidnapped. His face barely moved as he spoke. There were 9 pairs of siblings taken, for 18 children total. For reasons that were not fully understood at the time, each pair had one transmitter and one receiver. They were split perfectly. As such, the 18 children were split into 2 groups of 9. The children who were put in Group Q were the ones who excelled at transmitting. They were transferred to the mock experiment building known as Building Q in the Nevada desert. So... Huh. Clover is a transmitter? The children who excelled at receiving were put in a Group A. So, Snake and Santa. The members of Group A were placed on the former hospital ship Gigantic. From the experiments he had conducted so far, Hangao had learned the following. There are 2 things that can increase one's resonance with the fields. The first is the epiphany, the other is danger. Have you ever been faced with an especially difficult problem and thought about it very long and very hard until finally an answer suddenly appeared in your mind? It may seem obvious to say so, but that is what is meant by epiphany. The information obtained through that epiphany can be easily transmitted through the fields, where it can be easily interpreted. Adding danger to that equation allows for even easier field access. So all of this was just transmitting and receiving? Having epiphanies through figuring out puzzles? The danger of having to find the dead so that you don't fucking blow up and shit? Is this all just one big receiver transmitting experiment? And if so, why? What data are they going to get from this? And why would Santa do this? If he was Zero, the one conducting all of this, what has he got to gain from this? This just seems like an experiment where you get data from, but for some reason, Santa didn't seem like the kind of person who desired data. He seemed personal. Some things still just aren't adding up. I gotta be right back, man. I gotta get me another drink, son. Crikey, I'm back. Just gonna have a little break though with these twiglets. Yeah. So. Still not too sure what to make of all this. Could Santa really be Zero? It just doesn't make sense. I mean, I considered it, but... I don't know. Fuck, I love Wiglets. Oh, buddy. Alright, let's get back into this. Therefore, Hongao set up a number of puzzles across the Gigantic. So it was Hongao that did it the first time. Zero said that he was going to punish the people who did this. So it would make sense that the Zero we're up against right now was a former, I guess, kidnappee, contestant, experiment person, subject in the previous Nonary game, which would again strengthen Santa's position to be 7. Zero, sorry, Santa's position to be 0, but still, I don't know. The participants had to solve each puzzle before they could move to the next room. Of course, he hadn't forgotten to include danger. More specifically, he had detonated a bomb on the hull of the Gigantic. The children in Group A were forced to play the nonary game as the ship sunk. So Santa and Snake had to play it. By forcing the children into a state of life or death situations, Hong Gao hoped to increase the likelihood of their tapping into the fields. The children from Group Q, on the other hand, were confined to the Mocha experiment building, Building Q. Building Q duplicated the interior and the puzzles of the Gigantic exactly. Hong Gao explained the situation to the children in Group Q. Solve the puzzles you find throughout the rooms. When you solve them, transmit that information to the children in Group A. If you succeed, they'll be able to solve the puzzles and escape. But if you fail, then the Gigantic will sink, and your brothers and sisters will drown. Such a horrible thing to do. Do you know why the astronauts of Apollo 13 were able to return to Earth safely? Oh lord, here we go. It's because NASA had access to a replica of the Apollo 13 capsule. All of the equipment, the instruments, everything, all of it identical. NASA was able to replicate the situation the astronauts were facing by putting themselves in the same situation they attempted to solve the problems they knew the astronauts were experiencing. That's very clever. Once they had found solutions, they reported the findings to the men aboard the actual capsule. This was how they were able to return safely. It was the same with the Gigantic in Building Q, just telepathically. The children from Group Q had to use the power of epiphany to solve the puzzles they found and transmit what they learned through the fields. The children in Group A, however, had to access the fields to learn how they might advance to the next stage. That is the simplest explanation I can manage. Snake sounded defeated. His half-hearted attempt at derision served only to show how much the story had affected him. Just as Junpei was about to speak, "Hey, Junpei, Snake! How much longer are you two gonna sit around there on your bony asses? Get down here already!" Seven's voice echoed from below. Snake took a deep breath and blinked rapidly, as if just waking up from a long nap. He's right. Let's go, shall we? We don't have much time. We need to get out of here, and soon. Snake headed for the stairs, but Junpei put on an arm to stop him. Hold it. There's one more thing I want to ask you. Please ask who is the girl who died. Are you sure that there were 18 kids? Why? Well, I thought it was only 16. Oh, yes, that's what they said on the news, wasn't it? Yes, I have no doubt that 18 children were abducted and used in Hong Gao's experiment. After all, you couldn't exactly play a nonary game with any less, could you? Oh yeah, but are you saying that the news got it wrong? Yes, I am. There were 2 more children. However, they had no relatives that I'm aware of. I imagine no one filed a police report when they went missing. They were brother and sister like Clover and I. The brother's name was Aoi. The sister's name was... I knew it! I knew it! It was Akane! She is dead! Akane is dead! June is 0! That was the girl who died. Yes, it makes sense now. Things are coming together. Junpei felt as if he had been punched in the stomach. His vision went blurry and his head felt light. He couldn't think straight. Everything was blank. Had Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago? If she had, then who was June? No, that was impossible. It couldn't be true. Akane wasn't an uncommon name. If Snake had known her last name, then that would have been a different matter entirely. So they shared a name. There were many other people who did that as well. It meant nothing. It was a different person. Of course it was a different person. It had to be. Junpei shook his head hard and pulled himself back to reality. Is something wrong, Junpei? Your breathing sounds strange. Then Snake had noticed. Junpei cleared his throat and tried to act calm. Oh no, it's nothing, I'm fine. Let's get back down there, okay? Snake raised an eyebrow but said nothing. He headed down the stairs, Junpei bringing up the rear. He couldn't bring himself to ask. He told himself he knew the answer already, but he couldn't bring himself to ask what the girl's last name had been. With every step he took, the cold, hard sound of the feet against metal dug at his heart. Well then. Didn't it say 5 at the end of the shadow picture? Yes, I think we need to find the 5th volume. Aha! I guess we should press the button. Whoa, son! What? Alright then. What was that sound? It sounded like something really big was moving. It came from the top floor. Alright, let's go check it out. What in the feck? This looks like an output monitor. I bet the letters you type in on the keyboard will show up here. I bet you gotta type something on the keyboard. Yeah, but you can only enter letters. And it looks like you only need 4 letters. You can only enter 4 letters. Okay, let's see how this works. I guess you need to hit enter once you type in the letters. And you can erase what you typed with clear. Okay, I get the basic operations. Let's give it a shot. Okay, so 13, 14, 10, and 13. Could it be the hexadecimal? What was 13? 10, 8, oh god. That's... Yay! You did it, Junpei. It's on block now. Good job, Junpei. Oh, don't get too excited. The password was dead, remember? Just makes me think whatever's waiting for us isn't good. So what? Jeez, you're such an old lady. You can't be worried about stuff like that. I mean, come on. We got it to unlock, didn't we? Let's go. Hurry up. Alright, Handel. It's time we got this over with. Damn it. I can't get it open. This thing won't even budge. What? Why not? We put in the password. What else did we have to do? Then that means it's the other door. Please, just open. Thank you. Oh! That's nice. That is nice. The door opened, and Junpei and the others let through it. But no sooner had they done so than the clang of metal on metal rang out behind them. They spun around. The door they just came through had slammed shut. Junpei grabbed hold of it with both hands and pulled with all his strength. Damn it. It looks like it locks automatically. Is there any other way out? Well, there's another door over on the right. There's a card reader next to it. It's got a red light on it though, so I'm pretty sure it's locked too. But there is a card reader, right? Yeah. Then perhaps if we find a key card, we could open the door and leave. Well, yeah, that might work, but... Hey, wait a minute. Are you saying we're gonna have to search through this room for one little card? Oh, man. They took a second look at the room they found themselves in. Oh, what? What is all this? Looks so broken down. It was filled with piles upon piles of all manner of things. The only word that could describe it was chaotic. It was like a tornado had passed through, followed by a giant who had picked up and shaken the entire room a few times. Junpei's heart fell. Clover and Seven looked as though they were about to cry. Well, we can sit down and wait to die if that's what you prefer. I rather doubt that, however, so it would be wise to start looking. We haven't much time. Let's find that key card. Oh, and the Neptune key as well. We won't be able to get through the hallway without it. All this bullshit just to get to fucking Alice. She better be worth it, man. Alright then, let's begin. No. Detective Junpei, not on the case. I'm not. Oh god. Okay. There's piles of crap everywhere. Man, this place is a mess. That's so messy, I don't know where to start. Some of this crap looks familiar. I think a lot of these are parts of the puzzles we solved in other rooms. If that's true then, this room could be Zero's laboratory. Perhaps Zero would shut himself in his room to devise the machines and puzzles he needs to use his plans. To see his plans come to fruition. Huh. I see. Hey Junpei, isn't that a nautical table? Yeah, I feel like I've seen this before. Yeah, it's exactly the same. If this is the same one. I'm guessing it is. Found in the chart room. Okay, that's not it then. What? The faded line on the right edge must be connected to the line on the left edge. Yeah. Ooh. Okay, well that's something. A light that's attached to a drafting table. It's got this little metal arm that holds it up. Pipe. Great. Yeah, it pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? You're just looking at stuff and I'm just going, great. Gosh, this desk is really big and it feels really sturdy. Yeah, it does seem pretty heavy duty. I suppose it belongs to whoever uses the room, wouldn't you say? I think these fans are for ventilation. They're probably there to circulate air. Detective 7. It's a chair. Look, Junpei, the rust on here looks like Elvis's face? Yeah. How exciting. Ah, he's completely lost it, hasn't he? A steel cabinet with a double door. Oh, whoa, hold up. There are 4 indentations on the desk. I wonder if I'm supposed to put something into them. 3 monitors? So small. I wonder what it is. I got no idea. Okay. Whoa, buddy. There's a control panel in front of the big screen here. Wonder if any of these buttons do anything. Whoa, shit! Oh, hell no! What is this bullshit? There's something on the screen now. What's this? There are 15 cells here. With numbers and letters in them. Ah, I see. So whenever you touch a cell, the ones next to it turn on or off. Huh? You just gotta use that to make the all cells on the right and the bottom green. Hey Jumpy, I found this piece of paper under that thing. You wanna take a look at it? Do you think this might have something to do with the puzzle? It's a piece of paper Clover gave me. There are a bunch of numbers and letters connected by equal signs on it. Just like she said, this is probably related to the puzzle on the screen somehow. Thanks, Clover. This really helps. Alright, let's go back and try again. Anyway, looks like I just need to make all of the cells all green. Wait, no. Right now I'm just clicking shit. Okay, I have no idea what to expect right now. I haven't even paid attention to that shit up top there right now, which I probably should do. Okay, let's just stop and have a look. Okay, so D equals 13. So D plus 6 plus 4, so that'd be 23, and that does not equal A, which is 10. So yeah, now it lights up, now it's 10. Shit! Oh man, this is gonna be a bitch! Because I'm just not paying attention at it. I understand it, but I'm not really using it, you know? So this has to equal 10, this has to equal 10, which is correct. And L has to equal 21. So 21 here, 21 here, 21 here, 21 here, all wow, this has to be A. This in no way is allowed to be up. Like D can't be activated. Yeah, I'm not gonna get anywhere like this, am I? Shit. Okay, so when you touch a cell, all of the other ones activate too, or deactivate. So, let's say, yeah. This is fucking tough, man. I'm just not looking at this at all. So C is 12. So what if I put that there? Okay, so C can't be activated either then. That won't work. But then that can't be right then. So how come this is never fucking... How come this is never fucking green? C equals 12. So 12. There we go. So I need to have all of these here. I need to have this, this. Damn. I thought I had it then. Okay, so for me, I find what I need to do is have this one completely off. And then I need to have F come up so that I turn off B, but also activate this at the same time.